question, and I truly do hope it's kind of within the next 2 hours because it gives us something to talk about on GMFB. Rap Sheet, thank you so much. Another day, another dollar for a lot of these guys in free agency, but not Rodgers yet. Peter, what do you make of the fact that we do not have a jersey to Photoshop on Aaron Rodgers just yet?
It's kind of fitting. And I feel like it's his turn to have a week, right? Myles Garrett had Super Bowl week. He did Radio Row, demanding a trade. I want to get out of here. Matthew Stafford had Combine week where it was Matthew Stafford's going to be on the move. Both those guys stayed. Rodgers, we know, is going somewhere. And it might not just be a week. It might be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. If you think you know the answer to what Aaron Rodgers' timetable is, you know more than the Steelers and the Giants do, because I've spoken to sources on both sides. And everyone's kind of got that shrug emoji. We're waiting. We're seeing. Giving him his space. Let him decide. Now, we don't know the numbers. We don't know what's been offered exactly, but we do know there's been contact between his representatives and both of those teams. Rodgers, meanwhile, I'm told is, quote, out west right now. That's where he is. So he's not in Chile. He's not in Peru. He's not in wherever he goes for... What do they even call it in Enigma? His medicine.
Yeah, his medicine in the jungle.
His medicine.
That, for him, though, West might mean like West Asia.
It could be.
That's true.
It doesn't mean California necessarily.
What's fascinating to me is that he's got these two franchises that are just woven in the cloth of NFL history. You're talking about two blue chip franchises with two blue chip families, and they're waiting on Rodgers. And this is just kind of what the deal's going to be. It is going to be on Aaron's terms where he decides to go. And we're not 100% sure he's going to either yet. So Rodgers, for all the hoopla about how terrible he was with the Jets and how awful a teammate he is to have in, you've got two really strong, really historical franchises waiting on a 41-year-old quarterback coming off 2 years from an Achilles injury. And I do think he's their number one option in both of those places.
We have to remember this period for just that, Peter. Like, I feel like this feels like history. This is a guy who's all anyone talks about how old he is, how washed he is, how high he is, whatever you want. And it's not, due respect, it's not the Jaguars and the Browns being like, please, it's the gold standard. And they're basically begging or praying Aaron Rodgers to come to them. That's the state of the nation right here. And if I'm him, I'm like, I think the reason he wants to play again is, A, I'm healthy, I got things to prove, but I want to go out on my shield. I want to do this right. I do not want to go out as part of a 5-12 Jets team, and I want to finish the story. I look at him from my perspective, and I'm like, if I'm Rodgers and I have both these guys vying for me, I'm going to Pittsburgh. I'm going to Pittsburgh. Why? Because the Giants, to me, just even aside from the same stadium and geography, the Giants feel like the Jets. We have a hungry coach who's likable and hasn't really gotten it done yet like we did last year. You got a very young, talented wide receiver like we did last year that everybody's talking about. I don't think there's much else there, though. They haven't had their act together. I also don't think there's a genuine embrace from the New York Giants fan base who spent the last 2 years making fun of the Jets and Rodgers at every single turn. I'm going to Pittsburgh because obviously the weapons are impressive. Also, it's like immediately, is TJ Watt the best defensive player he's played with since Charles Woodson? Probably. I think Mike Tomlin is so different than Robert Saleh or than Brian Dable, and a guy who's so established, so been there. He has a Super Bowl ring. He would have another one if it were not for Rodgers. And I think the Steelers fans more than anything crave different. Please break the mold. Please not the same season. If Russell Wilson were to come back, it might be fine, maybe, but that still screams to me 9-8, 10-7, first round loss. This thing, this Rodgers thing, maybe it is Vikings era Favre. Maybe it is Broncos era Peyton. And maybe they do catch fire and change this. Or maybe they go 5-12 again, and that might not be the worst thing going into next year for once. You can actually have a decent draft pick. If I'm Rodgers sitting wherever the hell he is, smoking whatever the hell he is, drinking whatever the hell he is, studying whatever the hell he is, I look at Pittsburgh, I look at the Giants, and to me it's Pittsburgh 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, you know, I had the chance to play against Aaron plenty of times in my time during Detroit, and Aaron is just a special guy. He's obviously a guy who's going to be a future Hall of Fame player. I think one of his elite traits is his ball placement and his ability to be able to place a ball in a place where wide receivers can catch it in stride and get tons of yak yards. He makes the offense and receivers a lot better. I don't know if it's going to take an Aya experience for him to make this decision, but I very much so see him going to Pittsburgh Pittsburgh. You got George Pickens, you got DK Metcalf, you got my fellow Penn State alum and Pat Fryermuth at tight end working the middle of the field. I mean, obviously, with the Achilles injury, we saw the kind of the storyline with Kirk Cousins. He got benched for Michael Penix, that rookie. So I think he has the ability to sign a team-friendly deal that's not going to hurt the cap a ton, maybe a prove-it deal, a 1 year, and go over there, ball out. I just think he has a chance to have a couple of good years left in him where he can make a big impact in Pittsburgh and get Mike Tomlin over that hump of the mediocrity and the average and the 9-8 and no playoff wins.
Okay, let's play this out then, Jason. If you've played against Rodgers and you know the guys that we were talking about that are in that wide receiver room now, Kyle, I know you have takes on this too. We've talked a lot about the Steelers and their wide receivers. You think Rodgers is the perfect guy to stare down DK Metcalf and George Pickens and be like, guys, enough, and just like run this offense the way that, honestly, those two are electric in and of itself. So is Rodgers the perfect fit for that?
Absolutely. I think to me, like, that's a Hall of Fame player. That's the type of dude that walks into the building and every single player is going to have a certain level of respect towards him, especially guys like George Pickens, especially guys like DK Metcalf. We've all seen the Aaron highlights. We've all seen about his time in Green Bay, all of the great things that he did. So I don't think there is a better player that can walk in, demand respect on day one than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's funny because the Steelers, it's like, all right, if we don't get Aaron Rodgers, we could go back to Russell Wilson, which we didn't court him really. He was our quarterback, and we're kind of going after someone else, but hopefully DK Metcalf's an old teammate. They get along, and we can make this right. We can put the toothpaste back in the tube, or maybe we draft someone in the 20th, or we get someone in the second round. The Giants don't get Aaron Rodgers.
What do we got?
Get the third overall pick, and it's like, are we drafting Shador? Are we drafting Shador? And then it gets a totally different road. Or are we drafting Jackson Dart third overall, which wouldn't be the craziest thing if you really have no quarterback and you like Dart more than Shador Sanders. I just think for the Giants, you know, we made fun of the Jets for sending Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas and Woody Johnson and Christopher Johnson to Malibu to go meet with Rodgers. And there was TMZ cameras who were outside the house, which was like, what are we doing? Like, is it so crazy to find out where he is and go to him if you really want him to be the quarterback and maybe try to court him and say, here's what we can offer and let's talk in person? Hey, look, the league year starts this year. Anything is on the table if he's a free agent. I just don't know. If it's a sweepstakes for Aaron Rodgers, who's the better recruiter right now? Is it Brian Daboll or is it Mike Tomlin? And I'd love to see this thing play out, and maybe Rodgers can control those terms.
Can't take the cake any more than that running back if you were a free agent joining a new team, and look what he did with that. Time for Whiteboard Wednesday presented by Harbor Freight. That video was made up of last year's free agents who found themselves on a new team and playing in the playoffs. So until we find out if Aaron Rodgers has answered this text message from any of the teams that are interested in him, let's play Whiteboard Wednesday. The free agent edition that we definitely know has happened, that we think we could be talking about next January, Peter, a la Saquon Barkley and the Eagles, is...
Kyle's already hit this week. There is a team that I think we're all going to be excited about in the AFC, and it's a team that got eliminated in the wild card round. They're up there in Denver in the Mile High, and they very quietly added one of our favorite players from several seasons ago, Talanoa Hufanga. 49ers safety who was a first-team All-Pro in 2022.
Crazy.
Injuries completely sidelined him from 2023, and we barely saw him in 2024. Injuries. He's still just 25 years old, goes to the Denver Broncos. Vance Joseph, a defensive backs coach by trade, is their defensive coordinator. Jim Leonard, the old safety for the Jets and Wisconsin Badgers coach, is in the defensive backfield coaching room. And Hufanga joins Dre Greenlaw, two 49ers who were part of this 49ers bloodletting where the 49ers just had to get rid of everybody this week. Hufanga ends up in Denver. I think they're a playoff team. I think they're better than they were last year, and I think their defense got a lot better this week. Talanoa Hufanga. That name.
For me, guys, it has got to be this dude right here, Justin Fields. Like, guys, can we talk about this? Now, I played in Detroit. I played against this guy while he was in Chicago. His legs are an absolute problem. Like the monstrous rushing attack they're going to have between Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, that 1-2 combo, if they can get this O-line right, can you imagine him in a read option with those two guys in the backfield? What are you supposed to do? I mean, honestly, he can throw the ball. We saw him mismanaged in Chicago a ton. We saw a lot of flashes of him in Pittsburgh of what could be if they can get this thing right, if he can get on the same page with an offensive coordinator and get coached up right. I think he has a chance to be that dude in New York. And in January, we can be talking about the New York Jets in a very optimistic, positive way moving forward.
Okay.
Well, optimistic and positive, Cabinda. You got to see the New York Post. Their headline this morning, track and fields. It's just what you're talking about, his ability to run. Gang Green have never had a quarterback. They're all in on him right now. You got to be careful when you hold up the post because you may want to make sure you hold up. You don't want to do that.
No.
Don't want to do that.
Kyle.
Stop. Justin Fields, track and fields. Also, Peter, I have to take this point. We've done about 2,000 shows together. I've never heard you use the term bloodletting ever. Is that a new one for you?
That is what the 49ers roster has suffered this
Incredible.
week.
It's a very dramatic word.
Yeah.
All right, here's some dramatic words, Peter. Jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies. This guy's going to be singing that at some point this winter. Bosa! Brosa! Joey Bosa is headed to Western New York. And I just have this vision of him standing in the snow in January, singing Mr. Brightside is the part. He's going to fit in there with all that whole Dawson Knox type locker room and Josh Allen and wings and broing out and everything. Now, when he's standing there singing those lyrics, is he in street clothes? I hope not. People like to point out that Joey has had some issues with injuries. Well, the Bills have had some issues with beating the Chiefs. And now we take a guy from the AFC West whose job for years was to chase Patrick Mahomes around. I love this signing. It's a one-year thing. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe he's healthy. Maybe he's not. I got fired up when I saw this, though. It's a big name at a very important position. Bills pass rusher / difference maker. Is he Mr. Brightside? I tend to look on the bright side of this. Bosa, I love it.
Team birth into the playoffs, but a brutal loss in Week 18 and in the wild card round. The Minnesota Vikings are not sitting still in free agency. They have the potential to start a second-year quarterback next season. They made a couple of decisions, Ian Rappaport, in free agency that has us all intrigued. A lot of it is based on opening up their checkbook. What are we paying attention to?
What the Minnesota Vikings did was focus not at quarterback. They do seem right now to have their quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. Obviously let Daniel Jones walk yesterday. I don't know, was that yesterday or 2 days ago? It seems like so long ago. But Daniel Jones goes to the Indianapolis Colts. They were in there. They made it offer. It became clear he was moving on from them. They turned their attention to the big guys, to the offensive line, to the defensive line. Also, by the way, locked up Aaron Jones, their star running back after the best year of his career. He signed before free agency. But yes, he is going to have some big dudes to run behind. Ryan Kelly, the former Pro Bowler for the Indianapolis Colts, he signs with the Minnesota Vikings. Will Fries gets a huge deal to play guard, the former Colts guard, standout. Not a household name, except his name is Fries, but certainly someone who's going to help the Minnesota Vikings up front. They shored up the defensive line as well. Jonathan Allen gets a 3-year, $60 million deal. And then Javon Hargrave, who's not yet officially been released by the 49ers. He is a post-June 1 cut. He is expected to sign with the Minnesota Vikings as well when it is allowed. So Daniel Jones moves on, goes to the Colts, goes to compete with Anthony Richardson, and the Vikings spend all of their money on the offensive line and defensive line with a little more for Aaron Jones.
All right, Rap Sheet, appreciate it so much. Thank you. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, the GM in Minnesota, has been there for a couple of years now. Kevin O'Connell, their head coach, he gets an extension in January. The Vikings have made serious free agent moves in planning for 2025, Peter. So what do you make of this when you look at the decisions Minnesota has made and what they think their team could be in the coming seasons?
J.J. McCarthy better be good. J.J. McCarthy better be ready. And J.J. McCarthy better be something that they can say, that's why we moved on from Sam Darnold for. Look, I understand it. It's his time. He was a top 10 draft pick. And it was in the plans that probably late year 1, year 2, he'd get his opportunity. But then things happen. He gets injured in preseason. And Sam Darnold has this incredible year where for the first 17 weeks of the season, there may have been no more impressive quarterback considering what we expected him to be. Darnold, 3 years, $100 million, Seattle, Minnesota could have afforded that. They had that in their budget. They opted not to spend it on that, and they opted to instead bring in guys like Jonathan Allen and Will Fries and just roll with the plan, what it was all along. Now, remember, when Kwesi drafted J.J. McCarthy and they brought in Sam Darnold for 1 year, $10 million, it was because we have to pay everyone else, and we're going to be able to do this with a quarterback on a rookie contract, and we'll get a good bridge veteran at quarterback. Well, what happened was Darnold had this meteoric rise and showed that he could be that guy indoors doing it all. And then when he went outdoors, had great games in Chicago, great games in Seattle when it mattered. I'm not sold on J.J. McCarthy yet because I haven't seen him. We saw him in one preseason game. Then we get that unfortunate news that he got injured. So they're banking on this guy being fully recovered and being able to compete. And I don't know. Incomplete for me. We'll see. TBA.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't know or have heard from a single Vikings fan who said, no, huge money for Darnold, keep him. The ones that I talk to and the ones that I read online, let's do this thing. There's nothing more sexy than having that rookie quarterback thing in your pocket that you draft in the first round. And, of course, none of us are sold on him because we haven't seen him. O'Connell and everyone said, let Sam go, let Daniel go, we're good. Like whatever they have seen or whatever they've spoken about gave them the confidence to do this. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Rap Sheet is on here saying, well, they paid the veteran running back who everybody loves. They paid the offensive line. I think it's time. I really do. I have to say the one thing, and this is perfect, just draw from the segment. The one thing, if I'm the Vikings and if I'm McCarthy for sure, that I'd like to get rid of is that video of him on the sideline that everybody made so much fun of. It's late in the season. We rolled it in that package. We'll get to it eventually, where he just looks thin. He looks like almost underweight. He's got long hair. He's got like these sunken eyes. I mean, it's December or January in Minnesota. Yeah. Not everybody's showing up with like this golden tan.
Coming off a major injury.
Yeah, I mean, he was hurt. He's never been this giant, robust guy anyway. I'm sure the video is there somewhere. I know it was there in the segment anyway. I would get rid of that. It's like when Beyonce wanted that picture erased from the internet. That picture right there. That guy looks like he works the counter at GameStop. All right, I've seen that guy before, but I want to get rid of it. And
he reviews snacks on TikTok.
Yeah, he's like, so anybody hit the follow button, like, subscribe. Today I'm reviewing Hostess cupcakes. No, that's going to be the franchise
favorite breakfast food. Waffles,
Frosted Flakes, or Frosted Mini Wheats. Hit me in the comments. What's up, guys? No, he's the Vikings quarterback. I'm not going to. In fact, I think we should stop showing that video as a show. No. We should unite.
No,
you like it?
No, keep it going.
I think it's unflattering. I think we're trying to turn the page on that thing. Yes, Jamie, go ahead.
In the vein of the Duck Duck Grey Duck versus the Duck Duck Goose thing in Minnesota, that look right there is totally state high school hockey tournament in Minnesota. Like, that guy's got great lettuce. He's got great hair coming out of the back of the helmet. If you have not seen this guy on YouTube who narrates like the top 10 hair performances of the state high school hockey tournament in Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy is channeling every single Vikings fan who is a high school boy in Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy, I see you. It tracks. Don't let any of these guys say we're not going to air this again. It works, and it would hit #1 on that list.
Well, he also looks like he's 115 pounds in the video, too. Like, the hair is great. It's just, yeah, well, I guess so. But they do have weight rooms there, and I've seen very muscular Vikings before. So I say we don't show it anymore. Peter wants it. Jamie wants it. I'm already outvoted.
I like Uncrustables. They're pretty good, but I don't know.
You're the one guy who likes Uncrustables. What a hot take. Cabinda, what do you think?
God, the GameStop reference is absolutely crazy. I mean, that really made me laugh out loud. Now, look, these papers I have in front of me, just pretend it's about, what, $19 million, whatever his signing bonus was? The chips are all in on J.J. McCarthy. They're all in on this kid. I do expect them to have some type of veteran quarterback presence where they bring in a Jameis Winston or a Joe Flacco type of guy. At the end of the day, I played in Detroit. I've seen Justin Jefferson end our freaking dreams at end of games time and time again. This is the type of wide receiver that makes any and every quarterback that plays in Minnesota Vikings look good. They brought in Jordan Addison. He's been super explosive as well. I played with T.J. Hawkinson. Great route runner, great hands. I think J.J. McCarthy right now is set up for success. They went in, brought in Ryan Kelly, brought in Will Fries from Indianapolis. They shored up that offensive line. Everything around him looks right. It looks all good on paper. Now it's time to bring it to the test. Let's see what this kid does.
Okay, but what do you think of the photo? You're a deciding vote here. Do we keep showing the J.J. McCarthy video or picture?
Yeah, you have to.
You're good.
You have to. Until he's balling out and has, 35 touchdowns and 10 picks, I think we got to keep rolling.
We have to keep showing it because this is the documentary that we have, or the documentation that we have. Yes, go.
The only footage we showed during the pre-draft stuff was him meditating under a goalpost. So these are two options you have. He was Mr. Zen, and this is what he did. He meditated before games, and we celebrated the mental health aspect of it. We can't now bully him about having long hair, right? I mean, this is...
He made a play against Alabama where he caught it with one hand and then threw. Can we show that a little bit more instead of him looking like a hostage or something? I don't want to do that. I'm against it, but again, it's democracy. I'm not
Taco Bell or
3-1.
Wendy's.
We're going to look squarely at the team that just won the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the fact that their defensive side of the ball looks vastly different than where we left them in New Orleans. Peter, do you have any concern? I start with you on 3 and out. The fact that Philadelphia has moved on willingly from this list of names.
Yes, those bottom 4 names are veterans in the defensive backfield, and we spent so many years complaining and losing sleep over the lack of talent at the Philadelphia Eagles defensive backfield. Well, they finally built that thing up, and now it's like, hey, Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship and Quinyon Mitchell, like, the show is yours. There's a lot on their shoulders right now. That's real veteran leadership, and I value veteran leadership. I think you look at what that offensive line does. They bring in new talent, and they groom them, and then it's on the rest of the league. Defensive backfield, though, that is an Achilles heel for the Eagles for many years. They finally seem like they nailed it last year, and they got these 2 rookies who played so well. That's a big responsibility on their shoulders, but that is what happens with the spoils of winning. You at some point are going to have to pay Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, and you're going to have to pay Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean and the rest of them, just like they paid Zach Bond to keep him there. So we say farewell to 4 very, very important veteran players on this team, and I guess we have to move on and see, but I don't know. I don't like it.
Look, billionaires pay a lot of taxes, right? At least they're supposed to. This is what happens. You have really good players, a really good roster. People leave, people go. I don't think that the Eagles' attempt to go to another Super Bowl will be undone with these transactions. I think it'll be undone if Jaden Daniels continues to skyrocket, if the Giants get Rodgers or get their act together, and if the Cowboys' new coach gets them going. I still like them in the East. You could put 2 more names up there, and I would still like them in the East, despite what the Commanders did. We knew this was going to happen. You got to trust Roseman. I trust him implicitly. You do, too. The fact that they can let guys go and have super young, great draft picks like Peter just managed, everything is so much easier if you just stick your draft picks. It's so hard if you whiff. When you stick them, free agency is a bonus. You have your whole foundation. So I see Saquon there. I see everybody there that I like on the offense, and most of the guys still on the defense. I know they're high-profile names, and that's what we talk about.
Do you
these
think
days.
they lose a little edge without Gardner Johnson?
It's an interesting question.
Those are like Eagles,
Gardner Johnson, he's the dog. He's got the attitude. I don't think he's the only guy on that defense who does. I think Cooper DeJean has it. I think there's other guys who are going to have it. There's a lot of teams that have gotten their edge from C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He has not been a one-team man. He bounces around, and he leaves, and then they figure it out. So I think nobody's been better than Philly. I'm not hitting the panic button, but Cabinda, does this rub you the wrong way?
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, this looks more like the Eagles are simply trimming the fat. Peter, you talked about it earlier. It looks like they're giving Quinyon and Cooper the keys to that secondary. I think the biggest loss out of these guys is probably Milton Williams. And I don't even think the Eagles thought he was going to come alive the way that he did last season. Obviously, he got rewarded for it with New England Patriots. But the fastest way to the quarterback is a straight line and through the middle. And you have got an Ndamukong Suh replica. I said it, Ndamukong Suh replica, and Jalen Carter. This guy is absolutely unblockable. And you got Jordan Davis on the inside as well. When you have that type of pressure up the middle, you don't need big pass rush savants like the Josh Sweats on the outside. You still got Nolan Smith under rookie contract, who absolutely came on this year. I mean, one of the most physical DNs in the game right now. We saw that against the Kansas City Chiefs. I just think that they trimmed the fat. Darius Slay is gone, great veteran leader. But you got to understand, the Eagles got to see this guy in practice every single day. And maybe he thought he was losing a step. Maybe they thought that they had his best years and got the best out of him moving forward. And that's why now was the time to move on. But, I mean, I truly do like the moves. I think they're trimming the fat. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, like you said, he's bounced around a lot. I played with C.J. in Detroit. Great dude to have on your team on game day. maybe not the best dude to have on your team, everywhere in between. You know, those kinds of people who are just like gnats and they just keep biting you and biting you and biting you, kind of a little bit irritating to some people and can rub some people the wrong way. I think he's a good dude, but maybe not the kind of guy you want to reward with a 3-4 year contract and big money. And you've seen that these last 3 years, him bounce around a whole lot. So, like I said, I just think the Eagles are trimming the fat with these moves.
Yeah, and we keep focusing on this show. It's the quarterback controversy or competition that the Colts may have just signed themselves into. It's the fact that they poached Daniel Jones from the Minnesota Vikings in free agency. It's a 1-year deal, and they put him in a room with Anthony Richardson, who Kyle had an up-and-down season last year, not only with his play, but just as the starting quarterback business goes. So what do you make of this, the fact that Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson are in the same room together?
Peter, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I would just say it's two guys who are looking to salvage their careers at such young ages. Like, I didn't realize Daniel Jones was Joe Montana, the way the feeding frenzy was in the media the last couple of weeks. Like, wow, Daniel Jones has a market. He's going to be hey, he's making $14 million a year. That's real money. And then Anthony Richardson, everyone's writing him off in Indianapolis, and I don't follow that team closely enough to know the inner workings. But when you have a quarterback who's going into his 3rd year and they're already signing someone else for $14 million, it tells me that the writing's on the wall and that maybe they didn't love what you had brought to the table the last 2 years. Not a great sign for Richardson, and I'm not a huge Daniel Jones is we're gonna shock the world. So to me, I'm kind of nonplussed by this, and I hate being so negative, but that is a good team with a good running back, and that is a good team with a solid defense. Quarterback's been the missing piece. At least they're addressing it. Chris Ballard's been through this carousel ride of Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers, and now we're on Daniel Jones. I don't have a ton of confidence that this is going to get them to a Super Bowl.
Someone said Jones versus Richardson competition is a mid-off, which is very mean and very cruel. But, based on how you play is how you get reacted to. What Peter is getting, I think, is that, if you're making the move for Daniel Jones, you've already almost mentally committed to it. They say, well, we're going to add some competition. I don't know if it's competition that much. And the problem, if you're Richardson, and I hope he raises his game and lights it up, Daniel Jones is everything coaches love, especially on the sideline. He never says squat. Everybody says how hard working he is, what a great attitude he is. That's not someone who's going to come in and mail it in. He's going to be chomping at the bit, eager beaver like a Boy Scout to get on the field. And listen, this is Richardson's own doing. Take away the checking yourself out of the game thing. It's just when you're in the game. Daniel Jones is there because what you haven't done when you're there. And the Colts are like, we're not going to go in here with Anthony Richardson and say you got the keys for the whole year. I like this move. I don't think Daniel Jones is Joe Montana either. I don't. But I do think it was the right move to at least bring somebody in, and I bet it's a quick hook. If Richardson starts week 1,
it might be Jones.
Quick. It might be Jones week 1, but even if it isn't, quick. You got to win this year, and Richardson, the patience is running out. It's everything we said. And this is apropos for draft season. Richardson, amazing athlete. He's so athletic. He does backflips. Okay. But if it's 3rd and 12, we got to move the chains, and he hasn't done that enough.
It's also, just to chime in here before Jason goes, Bo Nix had 61 career starts in college and played for 2 different programs, and Brock Purdy had 48 career starts in college, and it's we knew what we were at least getting when they came to the pros. We knew we were getting Richardson, and Jamie, you documented it so well his draft year. I think he started 13 games at Florida. So shame on us, too. We all went over and did flips, but there was no proof of concept that this guy was going to be a home run out of the gates.
Guys, I played football for the last 18 years of my life, and I have never once, ever once seen a quarterback tap out in the middle of the game because they're tired. That is a culture problem. That's what that is. That's culture, straight up. You said it, Kyle. It's a mid-off. It is a mid-off. Daniel Jones just really average. Anthony Richardson, super inconsistent. It reminds me of the Penn State-Illinois game in 2019. 9 overtimes that came to sudden death, and it was simply which team wanted to lose more. That's what I think about when I see this quarterback battle. Who wants to lose more? If you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, how can you possibly have hope for this year when you look at your quarterback battle and this is what you got to work with? You need more. This is just not going to get it done. AR has a lot. I mean, yeah, the potential is skyrocketing, and he's fast, and he can do this. Oh, the arm strength is crazy. But where's the consistency? In the NFL, it is all about consistency. It is what you can do at a good or great level over and over and over again, and AR has not proved it yet. Daniel Jones was simply saved for the past 4 or 5 years because he had Saquon Barkley carrying that offense. We saw what Daniel Jones looks like without Saquon. This is not a move that gets me excited about the Indianapolis Colts, guys. I think this is going to be a 1 year and done type of experiment. It's just that simple, and it's very easy to see if you watch the film.
The Detroit Lions. So what do you make of Ben Johnson and his new head coach in Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, we were scared to death my last year in Detroit that Ben Johnson was going to leave.
And what year was that?
This was 2023.
Okay.
2023, 2024. And, you know, Ben is just such a great coach. The way he's able to have his hand on the temperature of the offense, like there's so much continuity between all the rooms, wide receiver, quarterback, to tight end room, to O-line room. He makes sure that everybody's learning the scheme the same way. All the coaches are on the same page in the way that they are teaching the scheme. You know, he is such a great motivator. He wants perfection. He's able to get the most out of his players. I mean, look at what he did with Jared Goff. I mean, this is a guy that at times, I mean, he went 17 for 17 in the game. I mean, he had Jared Goff looking like TB12 in moments of last year. I mean, he's just a great coach. I think he loves the fact that he has Caleb Williams and a guy who can extend plays at any given moment. He has a lot of weapons. Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore on the outside. So all the pieces are there. And I think Chicago just looked like such an attractive job to him. He saw the job that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes were able to do together when the GM and the head coach are on the exact same page. And I think that he's going to be able to have that exact same relationship with Ryan Poles in terms of the roster construction. And you can already see it in the moves they are making right now. He's shoring up that offensive line, making sure that Caleb's going to be protected. He went and got Jonah Jackson, who I played with in Detroit, a super solid guard, especially in pass protection. Caleb's going to be protected. He's going to have time. Held on to the ball a lot last year. I think Ben's going to be able to get in his ear and get this guy right because Ben he's the right guy for this job. And he's a psycho. He hates to lose. Like, he hates to lose. This dude will lose and not speak for the rest of the day. Like, that's the type of dude Ben is. And I think the standard in Chicago is going to be raised. And I think he got to see it firsthand in Detroit, what Brad and Dan were able to build. And what I loved about Brad and Dan is the fact that every single person that they brought into that facility, they didn't sacrifice the culture for the talent. These are guys that cared for their teammates about the game. These are guys that want to be the best version of themselves. These are guys that played hard as hell, like their hair was on fire. They didn't sacrifice that for any type of talent. If you didn't fit the culture, if you weren't a guy that had grit, you weren't going to be there. And I think Ben's going to take that model. He's going to do his best to instrument that also in Chicago.
He's a psycho. Said with love, Peter.
Said with love. Ben knows it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're familiar with Ben Johnson. We love that you have that. The Jets' new offensive coordinator for this offense is a guy named Tanner Engstrand. And the Jets fans are like, we have no idea who this guy is. He also comes from Detroit. Cabinda, you were with him since he was a quality control coach. Yeah. Do you have anything on Tanner Engstrand? Because Jets fans are watching and are like, who's running our offense? We know Aaron Glenn, but tell us about Tanner Engstrand.
Yeah, Tanner was actually one of our main guys who would help us install the scheme. I mean, this dude was in the film room 24/7. He's been an offensive coordinator a lot of times during his career coaching, so he's going to know scheme well. He's really good at communicating that to the players and making sure that everybody's on the same page from that standpoint. A little bit of a goofy dude, you know. He's funny, lets his personality shine through. I think he's good with relating to the players. I think it's his biggest opportunity that he's had up to date, and I think that he's going to have a chip on his shoulder because he feels like he has something to prove. Like, we all know in coaching, it is not easy coming all the way from the ground roots as a quality control guy, being the guy who has to go get people's coffee and go run the scout team and do all those kinds of things to then making his way to offensive coordinator role. I think he's really going to take this job seriously. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and I think he has some good pieces in Justin Fields and a lot of things he's going to be able to do with that offense. So I'm excited for Tanner. I think he deserves this opportunity.
You're carrying us right now, man.
Right?
You are just delivering content. It is
Tanner Engstrand content.
I put on the spot. It's to talk about Tanner at 6:33 Pacific. I'm impressed, and yet we're going to still go to you. So we know Ben Johnson lights it up, does this with Goff. We have seen for years and years and years these great coordinators who make the jump and They just don't have it. They're amazing D coordinator, is amazing offense coordinator, whatever it may be. They are not a head coach. It doesn't work, and sometimes it doesn't work more than once. Never mind what he can do with the offense. Never mind the X's and O's. Tell Bears fans, tell the league why Ben Johnson will work as a head coach, making that jump from coordinator.
I think he's going to be successful because I think he had the perfect example in Dan. Dan is all about accountability. We love Dan, and he's hard-nosed as hell. And Dan is cool, but Dan is going to tell you exactly how it is, and he ain't afraid to say it. And I think that type of accountability right there and up front is so important to players because at the end of the day, we get so many coaches that are fake with us sometimes. They already know in their heads that, this guy's 10 years done here. I don't think we can get the most out of him. Like, no. Dan is going to bring you in. He knows your potential, and he's going to get you there no matter what. And I think that level of belief, that level of conviction that he had in his players is why we loved him so much. It's why we played so hard, not only for him, but for each other. And I'll say it even now, man, just for one more game, I'd go run through a brick wall for Dan Campbell. And I think Ben Johnson's going to bring that same type of energy to Chicago and to a program, an organization that is dying for a winner the same way Detroit was dying for a winner. And look at Detroit now, back-to-back NFC North titles. Now, I'm still all one pride. I don't want Chicago to win it, and I don't think they have a chance to win it this year. But what I will say is Ben Johnson is really going to elevate this organization, and they're going to be scary in years to come because we still remember what that year one with Jared Goff looked like. It wasn't great, but, man, that jump in year 2, that jump in year 3, with a guy like Caleb Williams who has a bit more attributes and more to work with than a Jared Goff. This guy can get outside the pocket, make throws. He can run, extend plays, do all of that type of stuff. Man, you add a coordinator like Ben Johnson to that, scary hours.
Cabinda.